So we've got the full talk squad back together again. John Pearson coming back from vacation a day early just to join us again. Thank you.
Yeah, that's how much I love you guys.
You did not
Yeah.
come back a day.
Yes,
I
you
did come
Yeah,
back a
this is
day
one
early.
day.
I like work. I love vacation. It was nice, and it's good to see you for
great.
a day.
I'm glad you're back. Glad you're back
The
because we're
topic
talking
better be
about
good.
we're talking about marijuana. They have legalized marijuana to be smoked in small quantities in Washington State and in Colorado, and now we have this billboard that's been put up right on the eve of the big game of the big NFL game out in Denver, and basically the billboard is saying, NFL, stop pushing people to drink. Marijuana is
Safer, they say.
safer, and if you're going to push people to do anything, why not marijuana? Thoughts?
I would say let's not push people to substance at all. Can we just have a game? Do we have to drink and get high?
Yeah, fittingly, the Mets.
If you're asking me, I don't know.
What does that say? Again, it's all about, have a good time, get drunk, get high. Do we have to do that?
After the game.
Well,
No, that's what they're
mean,
talking about. After.
well, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
They're not
that.
saying get drunk during
No,
the game.
I understand that, but I
But,
just
you
think
know,
that's weird.
It's a
But we
tricky
do.
subject.
It's all
but
about sports and drinking. Sports and drinking.
Yeah, and fittingly, it's coming out of the Mile High City, the first one talking about smoking marijuana in the NFL. But the NFL has rules in place, and you cannot do marijuana. Now, I know you shouldn't drink and drive, of course, but if they say you shouldn't smoke marijuana, you shouldn't do this, even if it's legalized in the state, then they have rules to follow. And if you don't like it, get out and go smoke your marijuana.
It's interesting because federal law prohibits the use of marijuana, but the Attorney General has said that they will not pursue it in Washington.
Because of the state laws.
Or in Colorado because of the state laws, which kind of creates an interesting dynamic there. But to me, the point is, look, the NFL is pushing the use of alcohol, or at least according to the person who put this billboard up,
They
or
have
the group
lots of
that
lobbyists, that's why.
put the billboard up. And it's because there's a lot of money coming into the NFL for all of the commercials that are bought during football. I mean, could you imagine watching a football game without any alcohol? Beer sales, beer ads, and so they're saying, look, don't push it. So is it really like, all right, let's push marijuana, or is it saying, look, if you're going to push something not good for you, then you might as well push marijuana?
I want to know what the agenda is behind the guy who put up the $5,000 billboard. What's in it
Publicity.
for him? Well, yes, for his marijuana policy program or whatever it's called, right?
Right. If you can get the NFL behind him, imagine the momentum he would gain. If people got into this, but it's not going anywhere.
Well, they've had no comment.
Oh,
to this.
no, and the NFL will never get behind it. We're going to talk a little more about this. Here we go again. It's getting interesting.
That was fast.
It goes fast because we're having a good time.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
just
came
a great
back
time.
one day after vacation.
Yeah. I leave
Before
it?
Before
vacation,
vacation,
yes,
that's
Go
yes.
get some Doritos.
Some Oreos.
Perfect.
We're going to continue this discussion, as I think it's going to degenerate from here, over on sportsedge.com. For now, here on television, we're going to turn things over to our fitness contributor.
You have been very quiet.
Yeah, this was
Let's wait until we got on the web.
Right.
All right.
Well, no, we were arguing about it in the newsroom a little bit. So I said, Peyton Manning can get stoned in his living room after a game if he wants, but not if he plays for the NFL.
No, you don't have
because he
any
plays for the
facts on
Broncos.
that.
No, not at
Of
all.
course.
Not at all. But
No.
So this is all about publicity for the marijuana guy. That's all it's about.
And
And
it's
he could
proven.
cite every study he wants. It is safer than alcohol. Yada yada yada. But there is a ton of momentum in this country to legalize it. So he's
Well,
kind of using the
medicinally,
NFL. No,
there's-
in general.
Yeah.
Well, it depends who you talk to.
In
No,
general.
there is. There's momentum.
And the government's
yeah.
looking to tax it too. So let's.
Because it's a revenue generator.
Of course.
California, they're selling it in stores. They're going to tax it. So
And I don't know that it's ever been proven that anyone has gotten into an accident as a result of
knows?
smoking marijuana. We know people have gotten into accidents
Yes.
as a result of drinking. So is marijuana safer in that respect? Look, I think
Anything
anytime
that
you
alters
pour,
you in
Well,
some
and
way.
it does. I mean, marijuana definitely alters the way you perform. It alters the
Reaction
way you act.
time.
according to what I've read.
According to what I've read as well. Thank you. But I think I know
What have you read?
Oh, boy. You're
Anyway.
right. It has gone downhill.
But I think anytime that you're putting a foreign substance into your body, it's funny to me because you always hear people say, well, there's nothing wrong with it. It's purely natural. Well, hemlock's natural too, but if you eat it, you die. And so I think anytime you're putting a foreign substance into your body that has any sort of negative effect, you should try to stay away from it. Now that's not to say, don't have yourself a good time and do things here and there, but why does anybody have to try to promote usage of something? If you're smoking marijuana, we know that you're inhaling some sort of tar that's going to clog up your lungs. Anytime you're putting smoke down your lungs, it can't be a good
it's not a
thing.
good thing.
So why do we need to promote the use of it in any way, unless you're trying to prove a point that the NFL doesn't need to necessarily get behind the use of alcohol.
Well, I'd be very curious to know, after this game, what people are thinking, seeing this billboard. Of course, it is in the Mile High City.
Yeah.
But he spent $5,000 on this billboard, and look at us, we're talking about it. So
Yeah.
he's gotten a lot more leverage than $5,000
Yeah, it's
for
true.
his program.
And you know, Denver.
Whoever this guy is.
Denver is a kind of a hip and happening city, but that area there, that Colorado area, is a very conservative area. You know, it's not in the Bible Belt, but it easily could be in the Bible Belt. You have a very conservative area there, so it's a provocative thing to do. And
here we are talking about it.
Exactly, here we are talking about it.
Yeah, and guys are going to smoke it regardless in the league, and even if they legalized it somehow, some way, there's going to be people who do it and people who don't. That's the way it's going to be, just
So
like
how
the
do-
drinking.
So how do we wrap this up?
We-
Diet out.
We,
With Doritos, you're going to say.
Pizza.
So always thinking about food that
he
one
needs
over
a
there.
late pizza run. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks, John, for coming back from vacation early to join us again. Thanks for tuning in here on SportsEdge.com.
It was worth